The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. They have a brand new deal, giving new customers an opportunity to play just $5 to get $50 in bonus bets when you sign up with the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Tuesday afternoon, August 19th, around 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Scott and Lonte, once again joined by Lonte Smith. Together, we're going to break down the games for the Wednesday card. Lonte, how's it going with you? We had one game already take place, and we saw the Brewers lose for once because Patrick was really, really bad. Thought the Cubs bullpen might blow it. They held on to win, though. How's it going with you, though? Of course, a lot of games still yet to be played.
Yeah, that was a loser for me. I liked Milwaukee, but came right back with them on the short price with pre today. The second game, but yeah, doing pretty good, man. It's doing pretty good. We got a decent slate of games coming up. Football starting. Got a good WNBA slate. It's good time, man. Good time to be doing what we do.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the games tonight. Should be fun. But once again, there was one game that already happened. Anyway, before we get into any of the actual previews for the Wednesday games, a reminder, the Sports Gambling Podcast is giving away a $1,000 Circa NFL future bet with their phrase that pays. Submit the phrase now at sportsgambling.com/phrase. Once again, for a chance to win a free $1,000 Circa NFL future bet. Anyway, moving on into the actual card for Wednesday, starting off with the Blue Jays taking on the Pirates. Saw Skeens pitch well again, and the Pirates did take the first game. On top of that, Vladdy Jr. did get injured in the game. He's day-to-day with a hamstring issue. He was not officially put on the IL. Point is, though, he might not play in this game. We'll see. For this one, you have Bassett against Ashcraft for the actual pricing. Toronto is favored in this game by -145. Pittsburgh's around +125. For the over-under, I see 8 or 8.5. So I'll ask you, assuming that Vlad does not play in this game, because hamstring issues can be very tricky to deal with, do you think money comes in on Toronto, or do you think money comes in on Pittsburgh? Because we know that Toronto's the better team, but I don't know how many cents Vlad is worth to a line.
Yeah, it's tough to really put a like a numerical value on an MLB player just simply because they don't. Unless it's a pitcher, of course. Even Judge, like how much do you think? I know it's off topic, but how much do you think like somebody like Judge or Ohtani's worth?
To a line, it's got
not much, right? I mean, obviously, it's depending upon opponent and all that.
I was gonna say, I think Judge and Ohtani's probably worth like 30+ cents.
Yeah, I would say like 25 to 30. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think so. Maybe like 15 cents for Vlad. I mean, I know he's been playing well, but like they definitely want to monitor that. With his size and the position he plays. Yeah, but I kind of like Toronto here. I want to wait for it to see if money does come in on the Pirates. But I mean, I'm not really a Bassett guy, but he's been pretty solid. I mean, outside of the 9 walks in his last 3 starts, he's been okay. But I trust Toronto more than I trust Pittsburgh for obvious reasons. I know Pittsburgh's a lot better at home. Ashcraft's been solid in his last 2 starts, but I mean, I think Toronto, even without Vladdy in the lineup, I think they can manufacture some runs against Ashcraft. So I'm going to go with Toronto right now, but it's definitely will be a bet for me later on if the line drops as well.
Yeah, I think for this game, I might consider going with Pittsburgh for the plus money, but it's not really a strong opinion. Bassett, I think, of course, has been fine this season. Ashcraft's been quite good. Pittsburgh's been good at home. They're 35-29 at home, so maybe, but I don't see much of an angle, honestly. I'm assuming Vlad's not going to play. So I guess I'll take the spin there with the Pirates, but nothing substantial for me. For the over-under, though, at 8 or 8.5, I guess I'm on the under 8.5. I think Vlad, despite the lack of home runs, of course, still is a very good contact hitter, and the fact is he has had a good season. So Toronto might have to replace a pretty key piece to the lineup, so I think that could result in a lackluster showing by them. Give me the under 8.5 for that one. Moving on to the next game, Mariners taking on the Phillies. You have Castillo against Luzardo. Now for the pricing, you see the Phillies at about -135. Seattle's at around +115. For the over-under, I see 8.5. Now, I think this matchup's pretty tricky because Castillo has been worse on the road, 4.92 ERA. He was very good for the last month or so. Then the Mets kind of roughed him up a little bit. 4 innings, 6 earned, but they did win the game anyway. Now, Luzardo, we know, has been quite bad this season, at least after the good start. He's been bad at home, a 5.23 ERA. He's been better lately, though. He has given up 7 earned in his last 18 innings. Actually, no, go back even further. He's given up 7 earned in his last 25 innings. So after having a bit of a rough go of it a month or two ago, he's bounced back, but The point is, Luzardo at home has been a lot worse. So he's had a weird season, very good start, bad middle, and then he's starting to pick it up again late to some degree. Seattle, though, has been struggling a bit lately. They have lost 5 of their last 6. They've lost 4 of those 5 games by at least 2 runs. So they're not really even close at this point. I'll go Philly in this game, even though I think Castillo might be better. Both pitchers have struggled in this environment, Castillo on the road and Luzardo at home. Don't mind the over in this game, but Seattle's been slumping a bit lately, and I do think that Philly's a bit cheap. I'll take the Phillies at minus 135.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Philly, it's not one of my strongest plays, but I think you touched on a lot of the things that I was going to touch on with the splits for Castillo. And Castillo actually just got roughed up by the Mets in his last start, and we see the Mets just can't manufacture runs on a consistent basis. But he was roughed up then. But prior to that, he had been fairly consistent, like over his previous, 7 or 8 starts. Luzardo, you talked about him. I mean, pretty much his home splits are really, really bad, which is odd. I mean, 4+ in 3 of his last 4 at home. But he has been better as of late, 3 or less in 4 straight. So I think it's a good buy low spot for the Phillies. Castillo, I mean, he's going to go out, maybe give up 3. I think that's his baseline. But the way the Phillies have been hitting, especially Trey Turner's on fire right now. Yep. He is on fire. So I'm going to trust the Phillies. I think this number probably should be like around 145, 150. So I'm going to take the Phillies as well.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, Astros taking on the Tigers. For this one, we saw the Astros kind of slump a bit lately. To go through their last couple of games, they ended up losing to the Orioles 12-0, then lost to the Tigers 10-0 in back-to-back games. They've been shut out in 3 of the last 4, actually, so not exactly playing good ball. As for Detroit, they've been ahead in the division for months at this point. And for this game, you're looking at Morton against Valdez. And for the pricing, you see Houston in this one being a dog, as Houston's actually, no, sorry, they're favored. They're minus 130. See Detroit at around plus 110. For the over-under in this one, I see 7.5 or 8. I think I have to go with Detroit. Even though Valdez, I think, is better than Morton, the fact is Houston being shut out and losing by 7+ runs in 3 of their last 4 games, I really don't want to lay 130 and change with you in this game. I'll go Detroit. I see a plus 118. They've been good at home this season. They are 40-24. Houston is okay on the road. They're 31-29. But I do think Morton, despite not being that great this season, I will point out that he has been good in 2 of his first 3 starts with Detroit. He got shelled at home against the Angels, but besides that, 6 innings, 1 run against the Phillies, 6 innings, no runs against the Twins. Price feels too high for a team that's gotten buried in 3 of their last 4 games. Give me Detroit at home plus 110.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't like either side, but I would probably play Houston in like a little bit of a bounce back spot. I mean, Valdez has not been good. I mean, 12 earned in 3 August starts, 24 hits. So his hit rate is really, really high. Detroit had a really good showing yesterday where they scored all those runs, but I mean, they typically have not been playing at that level or even close to it offensively. I mean, Morton's been fine since he's got to Detroit, but I don't really trust him like long term. And Valdez, I think, can go well here. I think he'll be fine against this offense. Detroit is pretty middling against lefties, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to take Houston here. I don't love it, but I'm going to take the upside of Houston and that lineup with Valdez in a bit of a bounce back spot because he's not had a good start to his August.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, Guardians taking on the Diamondbacks. For this one, we have undecided against Fod. Still have lines, though. I see it might be Cantillo, so we'll see if he actually goes or not, but who knows. For this one, Arizona's minus 130. Guardians are plus 110. For the over-under, I see 9. Rinse and repeat to the game yesterday we talked about, or the game for today, I should say. Arizona's favored because they have the better starting pitcher, allegedly, but I don't really care. I think Cleveland's the better team. We saw Williams shove in the opener in the series on Monday. Arizona's offense took a nap, but in general, Arizona's bullpen's a mess. The rotation's been kind of iffy. Cantillo's up and down, I'll admit it, but I think Cleveland's the better overall team. Plus 110 with the better team. You'd argue both teams, Arizona especially, isn't playing for anything. Cleveland is still trying to hang around in the wild card race, so you could argue motivation's higher for them. Arizona, though, has been playing up the string for the last month and a half, probably longer. So I don't want to lay 130 with a team that has nothing to play for. Give me Cleveland, who's the better team at plus 110.
Yeah, I like Cleveland as well. And to echo some of the things, I like the over also. You talked about inconsistencies with Cantillo. I think Fox has been really inconsistent over his last handful of starts. He's got a high hit rate, 8+ hits in 3 of his last 4. Cleveland's offense has been a little bit better. And I think they maybe can get the Fox here. I like the over more than I like anything else, but plus money on Cleveland, I think that's a good play, especially if they can get to Fox early and get to that bullpen like you talked about with the struggles that they've been having. So I'm going for an over, but I do like Cleveland and the plus 110.
Yeah, I just think Arizona being favored is a proposition I'm not interested in. So.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like you said, it's just a pitching thing.
I think Fogg's better, but in reality, I don't know how long he's going to go. I don't trust the bullpen. The
his hit rate's been up too. So, I mean, Cleveland can maybe get to him, yeah.
And they could. Moving on to the next game, Cardinals taking on the Marlins. Now, for this one, you're looking at Palante against Alcantara. For this one, Miami's minus 130. I see St. Louis at plus 110. For the over-under, I see 8. Now, this might be the exact same thing I just said about Arizona against Cleveland. Alcantara especially, why would I want to lay juice with Alcantara? Now, both pitchers have not been good this season, but I'm looking at Palante. He's been especially bad lately. However, those 2 starts were at home. On the road, he was good last start against the Padres, but Alcantara is a guy who's been overpriced all season. I understand he's had a couple of, I'd say, good starts and bad starts. He was good last start against the Red Sox, but at home, he's been better at home, but he's still not been good. 5.09 ERA. He's been a mess. I feel like this is still being priced based on name brand recognition, where Alcantara is the better pitcher based on the past. In the present, they're kind of the same. I'll take the Cardinals at plus money. Same thing I said about Arizona. Why would I want to lay 130 with you when I think that you are the worst team in this matchup? You could argue the Marlins are better than the Cardinals, but once Stowers got hurt, I don't know if they actually are. So based on that, give me the Cardinals at plus money.
Yeah, I think this is more so a little bit of recency bias. And Sandy's been okay. I mean, 3.60 ERA since the All-Star break, 1 earned or less in 3 of his last 5. He's coming off that really good game against Boston. But I do think that it's something to be said about this number. I can't get to that number. I know Palante's been horrible, but that just put me on the over because Sandy he can go well for, 3 or 4 innings, and he'll have that one inning where he just can't throw a strike and he's walking guys and guys are putting the ball in play. And St. Louis's offense can be explosive at times. So I'm looking at the over. I mean, Palante's allowed at least 5 earned in 2 of his last 3 road starts. I think we see some runs here. So I'm going over. I don't hate the Cardinals play with you, but I like the over a lot more than I do the side.
Yeah, I like the over too. I thought that was kind of a given based on how we talked about these 2 pitchers. But either way, I just don't want to lay that with Alcantara. Moving on to the next game, Mets taking on the Nationals. The Nationals we know stink, and the Mets have been playing better lately, but maybe that was Seattle falling apart. We'll see. Saw Alvarez on the IL, the thumb sprain, so the Mets are going to have to go with a different catcher. Then again, Alvarez has not been good this season, so it might not matter. For this game, though, you have Senga against Lord. For this one, the Mets are about minus 190, minus 180. For the Nationals, I see plus 150. For the over-under in this one, I see around 8.5, juice to the over. So I'm going to ask you, because we know the Nationals stink. The Mets ended up winning 2 out of 3 against the Mariners. They won the last 2 games. Do you think they're getting back on track? Or do you think Seattle just had a really bad series and they might be falling apart? Because I couldn't really tell. The Mets called a brand new pitcher in McLean, who was phenomenal and just absolutely shoved. And it just felt like, besides that, the Mariners kind of no-showed the last 2 games of the series. So I can't tell if the Mets are turning it around or if that was just 2 games and we'll see how they go from here. But I don't think Lord's that bad. Yeah, Senga's been kind of a mess since coming back from injury because he walks so many guys. So that's kind of the concern there. I didn't mind the over in this game, actually. But I think I would go with the Nationals plus 1.5. I'll play it safe, but I think I prefer the over in the game.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of looked at it similar to answer your first question. I think it's a little bit of both. I think Seattle kind of was on that hot streak, and then the Mets were, trending down, and then that kind of, water met its level there. But, I mean, Senga's been solid on the road. He's got a low hit rate, under 5 hits in 5 of his last 7. But like you talked about, it's the walks that are his issue. He's also allowed a home run in his last 5 games. And Washington, I don't really trust their offense to do anything, but I do like Lord. I'm looking at a first 5 under because I think Senga can go well early on through the lineup. If you look at Lord, he's allowed 2 or less in 4 of his last 5. And the opponents that he did it against were solid. 2 earned against Philly, 3 earned against Milwaukee, 1 earned at Houston, who we just talked about. They're struggling a little bit, but at that specific time, they weren't in the lack of runs being scored range like they are now. But I'm going to go first 5 under. I would look at Washington side. I wouldn't play the Mets at this number. The 1.5, is that plus money? Can you get plus money on the 1.5?
For which side? The plus 1.5 or the minus 1.5?
Plus 1.5, I'm sorry.
Plus 1, they're both minus 110.
Oh, okay, so, yeah, that's about fair. Yeah, plus 1.5. But I like the first 5 under, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I do think that Senga walks are always in play because he does walk a ton of guys.
Yeah, he
so
does.
We'll see if he fixes that. But either way, I don't mind the Nationals keeping this game close. Moving on to the next game, White Sox taking on the Braves. Fun game that we ended up seeing where they won, I believe it was 13-9, I think. Harris had a monster game. They pulled them because they were down a ton of runs. And then the tying run was at the plate, and it was supposed to be Harris, but they pinch ran for him already.
It's crazy.
And then Allen came up, and he ended up striking out. So the White Sox won. Strider was god-awful. Shout out to him, though. He helped cash an underdog entry that we had for the prop show because we faded him, so that worked out pretty well. We had the under fantasy points at 41. Do you want to guess how many fantasy points Strider had?
40.
No, he was terrible.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was. I thought this was a trick.
No, it's 12. Not really a trick. It's just a 12. Question. Like, he was bad.
12.
Oh, no, he had -6.
Damn.
I mean, it makes sense. He gave up like 6 earned in like 3 innings. He was terrible. But anyway, Point Strider did us a solid, but he was really, really bad in the game yesterday. For this one, though, for the actual matchup, Perez is against Waldrop. Waldrop's been insane. 3-0, 1.02 ERA. Perez has been good too. 1-2 with a 3.09 ERA. For the actual pricing, White Sox are a dog, obviously. Braves are -180. White Sox are around plus 150, 155. I see Savali being listed in one spot, but I also see...
I got Savali too. That's what
I see Perez in another. So once again, I'm not really sure, but either way, that's the 2 potential options. Yeah. For the over-under, I see 9. If you wanted Atlanta on the run line, because you're not going to lay 180 with Atlanta, let's be real here. You can't get Atlanta -1.5 at around plus 105. What do you like in this one? White Sox have been hitting a bit better lately. The Braves are the better pitcher on the mound. What do you like?
Yeah, you know what? If it is Savali, I know. If it is Savali, I like under. He's been excellent on the road, Savali that is, but I think that we see kind of course correct here, and both teams offensively settle down a little bit. Waldrop has been, like you talked about, really good. I mean, two combined runs in 17 2/3 innings pitched. I think Atlanta's offense has been good, but again, I mean, I trust Savali on the road. In his last 7 games, he's had 3 with 0 runs allowed, 3 or 4 plus allowed, and then 3 earned in the other. So somewhere in the middle, I think we can get under this number. I might go first 5 under just to play it safe. I don't want to leave it to the bullpens. So I like under in this game. I think we see a low-scoring affair. I like both pitchers if it is Savali. On the opposite side, just if it is Perez, I would prefer just taking the 1.5 with Atlanta.
Yeah, for reference, by the way, Perez has made 1 appearance since April. He got injured. He came back, faced off against the Tigers, and he went 3 1/3, 1 run. Wouldn't shock me if he actually went, just based on the actual...
Maybe it was like a spot starter, you think?
It could be. I mean, Perez was a starter, and then he got injured, and then he went 3 1/3 about 6 days ago. So it actually wouldn't surprise me if Perez went in this game. But the point is he's not going much length anyway.
Yeah, right.
And Savali, you can argue, will go more length, but I don't mind the under in this game too. That total feels kind of high. I'll go with the under for this one. I'll go with the Braves, though, -1.5, just for the plus money. Not really any other reason besides that. Anyway, before we get into the remainder of the card for Wednesday, reminder brought to you by MyBookie.ag, because you can bet on every sport you can think of. With MyBookie, they have baseball, they have WNBA, they have golf, and of course football futures. They also have tennis if you want to bet on the U.S. Open coming up next week. And a reminder that you can also use their notifications, use crypto for deposits and payouts. When you sign up, though, for your new account, use the promo code SGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag promo code SGPN for the 100% bet back bonus up to $500. A reminder, we're also brought to you by Rhythm, because they have been really good in past years for the NFL. And for actual reference, a reminder that the NFL season is going to be happening sooner rather than you actually think. A reminder that we're already a couple weeks into preseason already. They were great on player props for specific players last year. For example, they were 15-8 on Josh Allen props for passing, 23% ROI. They also have a bunch of sports. They have WNBA, they have golf, college football, you name it. You can go to the site today, start building your NFL model, and a reminder, you can also get a free week trial by using the promo link that we have with Rhythm. Use the link, sportsgambling.com, Rhythm, to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the card for Wednesday. Time to keep rolling with the next game. Moving on to the Yankees taking on the Rays. For this one, you have Schlittler against Rasmussen. For the pricing here, Yankees are favored. They're they're dogs slightly. They're about plus 100. You see the Rays at around minus 120. For the over-under, I see 8.5. I'll ask you, because Rasmussen's been good this season. They were kind of limiting his innings in the middle of the season. They kind of let him go again, though. He has gone 6 innings in 2 straight. He's also been really good. He's allowed 1 earned run in his last 3 starts combined. Schlittler has been good as a young Yankee starter. Some home run issues here or there, but he has been pretty good for a guy the Yankees called up midseason to kind of fix the rotation a bit with some injuries. I like the under in this game. I think 8.5 is too high. I think Rasmussen's a solid pitcher. The only issue was length. That's been corrected. Schlittler has been fine as well. I get the ballpark can promote some home run issues again for Schlittler, but I think 8.5 is a little bit high. Yes, the Yankees offense has been rolling lately. I'm aware of it. I'm hoping that Rasmussen can cool them down a little bit. Give me the under 8.5 in this game. The pricing feels kind of right to me, though, for minus 120 and even money. You'd argue the Yankees should be favored because they're the better team and they're in good form offensively. I'm not going to bother. Give me the under instead. I think 8.5 is too high.
Yeah, I like Tampa, and I love the under. I think you broke it down really well. Schlittler's he didn't allow a home run in his last start, so that was a little bit of a positive. He's allowed 2 or less in 3 straight. He's been solid in his 2 road starts. I love Rasmussen. He's one of 14 pitchers with double-digit wins. He's got 1 combined in his last 3 starts. I mean, he's been really good. 2 or less in 7 straight. So I think we see a really good pitchers duel as long as Schlittler can keep it in the park. So under will be one of my favorite plays. I also like Tampa. I maybe go Tampa minus a half a run in the first 5, just because I don't know how long Rasmussen's going to go. They've been kind of tricky with his innings. So maybe look at Tampa early, but I do think Tampa can win the game in a low scoring game. So maybe like 3-2 type of game.
Yeah, I can get behind that too, but I'll go with the under as my favorite play. Moving on to the next game, A's taking on the Twins. Now, for this one, you're looking at Ginn against Ober. So, first glance, over is probably the move. For the pricing here, Twins minus 130, A's are plus 110. For the over-under in this one, I see 9 as the actual number. Now, Ober was really bad. Then he ended up going on the IL for a bit, came back, and he's been up and down. 3 starts, he has gone a total of 16 1/3 innings, giving up 8 runs. So once again, not exactly great, but I guess better than he used to be before the injury stint. Ginn has not been great either. His ERA is north of 5. Feels like a coin flip game. Don't mind the A's plus money, but give me the over instead. I think either pitcher or both get shelled. Give me the over 9 in this game. So
That's exactly how I broke it down. 2 erratic pitchers, so we can expect some runs. I mean, he's got some walk issues, got some home run issues. Ober's 4+ earned in 6 of his last 8. He's been better in his last 2, but I still don't really trust him. And he's also better at home. But I don't trust it. I think we see some runs here. I trust the A's offensively. Minnesota's been a little bit better offensively, especially when they have their decent collection of guys. But I don't trust either pitcher. I trust the offense for the A's more than I do Minnesota. But I think we see a lot of runs in this game, so I love the over in the spot.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, Rangers taking on the Royals. Now, for this one, you're looking at DeGrom, who I believe is injured. So I believe he's not going to be pitching in this game.
Oh, wow.
I heard he's not going on the IL, but he's dealing with something. So I believe he's going to be missing his next start. Yeah, they're skipping his start. I don't know who's going to be pitching instead, but it's not going to be DeGrom. I saw that earlier today. Did they announce who's going to be filling in for him? It says shoulder fatigue. I don't see what it is, but it's not going to be DeGrom. So keep that in mind. Against Cameron, so for now we'll say undecided as the line that we have. For the Rangers, I see minus 125 right now. Once again, I don't know if that's actually accurate or not.
Yeah, that's probably not accurate. That can't be accurate.
I'm assuming it's not. Yeah, probably not. Who knows? But you have Cameron going at allegedly plus 110. We'll assume we don't actually know what the lines are because they're probably going to fluctuate heavily, but DeGrom will not be pitching in this game. I'll go with Kansas City. They've been good lately. Cameron's been good as well this season. And without DeGrom, the Rangers have been struggling anyway, but DeGrom has been a very solid pitcher this season, obviously. Give me Kansas City at what could be plus money, probably a small minus price. I think it'll be affordable, though. Give me Kansas City.
Yeah, I love Kansas City, even if it was going to be DeGrom. But I do have this DeGrom stat. So he's got 242 career starts.
Okay.
He's allowed one or no runs in 127 of those.
If you asked me to guess how many he would have had that stat for, I would have guessed like 85.
127, man.
That's insane.
He is phenomenal. But Cameron's been pretty good as well. I mean, 1 or less in 5 of his last 8, 5-1 in that span. So he's picking up the wins. 3 combined earned runs in his last 4 home starts. Depending upon who Texas' pitcher is, I think I'm going to love the under, especially the first 5 under. I may be looking at a Rangers team total under just because of how poorly they have been offensively. I think we talked about that yesterday. They've kind of like reeled back into that initial approach that they have been offensively and not what they have been in the middle of the year. So maybe I'm going to love the under. So let's go Royals and the Rangers team total under.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. But the main news, of course, is DeGrom will not be pitching in this game. Moving on to the next game, you have the Brewers taking on the Cubs. They have another game to play later today, but the Cubs did win the opener of the doubleheader. For this one, you have Mizorowski, who went about an inning and change against the Reds and got shelled in his first start back off the IL. Against Rhea, former Brewer, so a bit of a revenge game here. For this one, the Cubs are about minus 105. I see the Brewers at around minus 115. A couple of minus 110s, though, if you want to go for the pure coin flip. The over-under, I see 6.5 or 7. I have to assume the wind is crazy in Wrigley tomorrow, blowing in, because 7 is kind of nuts when Mizorowski walked the farm in his last start. But let me quickly see if I can see how, I'd say, strong the wind's going to be for the game tomorrow, because at first glance I like the over, but I have to actually just confirm how the wind's looking. It's blowing in at 11 miles per hour, so that does sound about right. Then again, the Brewers never hit home runs, so they can score runs by singles anyway. And Mizorowski, who I said before was really bad in his last start. For the details, he went 1 1/3, 4 hits, 3 walks, and 5 runs, all earned against the Reds in his last outing. So for this one, I think I'm going to go Cubs first 5, actually. I think Rhea can go okay here. Yeah. It's not really a strong opinion either way, but Mizorowski's made 1 start since coming off the IL, and he was objectively horrible. I just think that I don't really trust him in the spot. His ERA on the road is north of 7 in general. So I'll go with the Cubs first 5, but this game could get weird. So I think I'll consider the over 6.5, but I understand in Wrigley wind blowing in is never a fun option instead. Give me the Mizorowski under outs if I can get that prop available, because he went 1 1/3 innings in his first start off the IL. He might only go 3 or 4. There's no guarantee he's fully stretched out to go 5 or 6. So that could be a problem. Give me the Cubs first 5, but it's a really tough game to bet. I'll go with the over 2.
Yeah, I like the Cubs first 5 as well. That was one of the plays that I had written down. I also like the under, but I didn't know it was going to be that low. But I think you hit on the head with Mizorowski. I mean, he's not gotten out of the 4th inning in his 3 starts since the All-Star break. He was rusty in his last start, missing 2 turns in the rotation. So maybe he knocked the rust off, maybe not. I mean, he should be well rested, only going 1 1/3. But I like Rhea. I mean, the Cubs showed some fight today, although I do think they lose tonight. I think they can get this one, so I'm going to go first 5 though, simply just because I don't. The Brewers have some kind of mojo going on where they just pull games out. So I'm going to go Chicago first 5 with you.
Yeah, once again, not really a strong opinion, but it's a tough game to break down, especially when the wind's blowing in. If you want to go for the no home run angle, the classic Wrigley angle, maybe that works out for you, but it's tough. It's really tough at 6.5. I'll go with the over, I guess, but not really a strong opinion. Moving on to the Dodgers taking on the Rockies. Rockies actually won the opener in the series, the walk-off single. For this one, you have Ohtani against Gordon. Gordon's ERA is around 8, so not a good sign for him. For the pricing, the Dodgers are about minus 300. That's not fun. The Rockies are around plus 240. For the over-under, I see 11.5. For the run line, I mean, you're going to have to take 2.5 for anything on the Dodgers, but 1.5 is minus 185. Rockies plus 1.5 is plus 152. I have no damn idea. I have no strong opinion.
Rocky's been feisty, man. Rocky's been feisty.
I'm going to say, you're priced out of everything for the Dodgers, so you kind of have to go Rockies. So
team total.
I'll go Rockies. Team total, maybe. I mean, I think Gordon's going to be really bad, so that's fine. Is Ohtani going to be good? I have no idea. I mean, he's no guarantee to go 5 in every outing he pitches in. So I like Ritter. He's been pretty good as a young player for Colorado. He's been solid lately, but I think I agree with you. Give me the Rockies actually doing some damage here. Don't mind maybe the over in the game. Dodgers score a ton. Rockies do their part. I see a high-scoring game. But I'm not laying $3 with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put in a parlay. And I'm not taking the run line to minus 185. So either you're going Dodgers minus 2.5, you're taking the Rockies to keep this game close. I'm with you. Just give me runs. I'll ignore the actual score. Just give me the over.
That's exactly how I looked at it. So Roberts did say that Ohtani is expected to go 5 innings tonight. So he went 4 1/3 in his last start. So he's like, trending in the right direction as far as workload. But I think it kind of depends on the pitch count and, how low that is through, the first inning or two. So the Rockies, man, I think they've won 5 of 6 or 6 of 7 or something like that. So they've been feisty, man. I thought their offense has been really productive. You talked about the young kid who has been playing well. I thought as a whole they've been playing a lot better. Gordon, 26 earned in his last 4 on 38 hits, so not the best. But over is the only way you can look. You can't look anywhere. Over and Rockies is the best way to play this. So I don't think you can play the Dodgers, especially they've lost 4 in a row and they've never lost. I know that's going to come tonight, but they're in a tough spot. I think they got to win back both of these games tonight and tomorrow.
Is that true? That they've never lost 5 in a row?
They've never lost 5 in a row with Roberts. Never.
That's kind of crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, they're not in danger of that because they swept the Padres over the weekend, but we'll see what happens for the Rocky series. But
I think this is 4 in a row on the road. Maybe it's 4 in a row. They lost 4 in a row on the road. So maybe it's 5.
Is it on the road or do you mean maybe 5 in a row against the Rockies?
No. I think it's 4 in. I think it's 4 in a row on the road. They've lost 4 in a row on the road because obviously they beat the Padres this weekend. So it's got to be 4 on the road. So look at their last.
I thought those were all home games? Yeah, those were all home.
Yeah, those are at home. Yeah. So they've lost the last 4 home games, including last night. So they've never lost 5 road games under Roberts. That's what it is.
Okay. Well, that's still kind of insane.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens. Anyway, moving on to the next game. Reds taking on the Angels. Reds 6 games over. Don't look now. They look pretty good. You Martinez against Kikuchi for this one. For the pricing, I see the Reds being favored in this game. They're about actually another dog. Sorry, the Angels are around minus 125. I see the Reds at around plus 110. Martinez has been up and down all year, and he was definitely down last start. 2 2/3, 9 hits, 6 runs against the Brewers. Before that, though, he was great for about a month straight. He had allowed less than 3 earned runs in 6 straight starts, and then Milwaukee happened. But Milwaukee's Milwaukee. So that might be a one-off. Kikuchi, though, was an all-star technically. This season he's been fine. A 6-8, 3.52 ERA, 2.4 ERA at home. Not good last 2 starts, though. He has given up 4 earned in each of the last 2 starts. For this one, give me Cincinnati. I don't want to lay 130 with the Angels here. The Reds have been good. Brian Hayes has been really good at third base. I like what they've been doing. It seems like they're building on something. And you know what? Francona historically has been a pretty good manager in post-All-Star break scenarios, with the exception of the one, of course, collapse they had in Boston. But I do think it's a good spot for the Reds at plus money. Maybe I'm going right back to what I said about the Diamondbacks game and the Marlins game. If you play this game twice and you think that these teams split those 2 games, give me the plus money. I think plus 110 is very appealing for Cincinnati. I'll go with the Reds.
100% agree. And Martinez has been in better form. He's been fairly consistent outside of his last start, which he gave up 5.
Yeah, and that was against Milwaukee. I'll give him a pass for that.
Yeah, like you said. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Kikuchi's been inconsistent as well for like the last month. His hit rate's kind of fluctuated. It's no real, he doesn't have a ton of consistent work. So I think at this price, the way the Reds have been playing, I mean, of course they're going to play this well, and then next year they're going to recycle and everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, the Reds, they're, the sleeper team or whatever, and then they're probably going to do the same thing again. But that's just what the Reds are. So I like them in this spot. I wish they were a little bit higher priced.
I'm shocked they're dogs in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted it to – I figured it would be a little bit – just because of the name, Kikuchi, but Angels hit –
I mean, as you said, though, he's not been good lately.
Yeah,
I know Martinez was not good against the Brewers, but the Reds are a playoff team right now.
Yeah, that's fair. And Martinez has been okay. Like I said, he had that bad start against Milwaukee, but he's been okay. So I'm gonna take them. I could go over as well. You could talk me into an over.
Yeah, I can get behind that too, but I think the Reds are I think it's the wrong team being favored, just simply put. Moving on to the last game, Giants taking on the Padres. I mentioned it in the show yesterday. Fresh off of the sweep against the Dodgers, you really wanted to get off to a good start against the Giants. And they immediately went down 4-0 in the first inning because Cortez got destroyed. And then the offense tried to come back late, couldn't do it, and they ended up losing the game. Not a great start. They got bailed out, though, because the Dodgers lost to the Rockies, but still, that's the worst case scenario. After getting swept by your rival, you just come out and lay an egg in the first game back at home. Now, we'll see how they do tonight with Pivetta pitching before the third game of the series. You have Raup against we don't know. We have no lines in this game because we don't know who's pitching for San Diego. I'm assuming the Padres will be a decent favorite in this one, but I'm going to go with the Giants. The Padres, I'm picking to win the game tonight with Pivetta because I do like that matchup, and Tang, I think, is horrible. Yeah. But I think for this game, the Padres, I don't know if it's the reputation over the course of the last couple of years, but I find them generally soft. And the no-show in the first game back home after getting embarrassed by a rival over the weekend kind of told me what I needed to know. I still think this team, when push comes to shove, might roll over. And I think the Giants are actually quite live to win this game. I don't mind Raup. I think Raup's okay. But I do think they're going to be getting a dog price in this game. Give me the Giants at plus money, or what should be plus money.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I kind of want to see the price because I kind of agree with everything that you said, but it's still just price dependent. Raup's been good. He's been solid prior to the injury as well. I mean, 2 or less in 8 games prior, or 6 games prior. I'm sorry, but I kind of got to see the price. It was kind of a cop out, but I want to see the price because if the Padres can get something done tonight, which I think they will, maybe they can roll it over into tomorrow's game. So it would probably be San Diego or nothing if I had to play it, but obviously it would be price dependent. I'm assuming you'll have to go, minus 1.5 to get a decent plus price on them.
Yeah, probably. I do think that the Padres will be a decent favorite just based on their home numbers this season, but
yeah.
I think Raup's okay. Like, I don't mind Raup.
Yeah, he is.
So,
he's good.
Yeah, I'll go with him in this one. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the actual card. Time to go on into our lock and dog picks. For that, the reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Circa, because they're hosting 3 of the biggest football contests. You're running out of time if you want to sign up. There's Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo. And a reminder that there's over $20 million in guaranteed prize money. You can also hang out with SGPN at Circa Contest Weekend from the 21st, 23rd. So once again, this weekend, or actually technically it overlaps from the weekday to the weekend, but either way, 21st, 23rd. I know, of course, Sean and Ryan will be there. I heard that Steffi's going to be there as well. I'm sure there'll be other SGPN guys too. I will not be there. I was there last weekend, so I did not sign up for the contest. I was there just to have some fun. But point is, I will not be there if you're looking for me, but check out the contest anyway. And a reminder, you'd also get a nice discount if you use the code SGP15. You'll be able to get 15% off your stay at Circa. Consult with everyone. Use our actual proxy to help you play if you don't actually live in Nevada. Go to footballcontest.com. Use code SGP. You get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also about Fantasy because you can do Best Ball Mania happening all summer long. 15 million in prizes, 2 minutes first place. And a reminder that it's a different way to play fantasy football with no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is this way to play fantasy football. You could also, once again, use Underdog for pick'em entries if you want up to 500 times your entry. And a reminder, they have a brand new deal. If you are a new customer, play just $5, get $50 in bonus funds when you use the promo code MLBSGPN when you sign up for your new Underdog Fantasy account. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the games for the Wednesday card. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Lonte, what do you like as your lock and dog for the show?
Yeah, so for the lock, I'm going to go to a total. I'm going to go Kansas City and Texas. This should be under 9 or 8.5. Let me make sure I got the right number. It should be under 9. Under 9 or 8. I'm sorry, 8. It should be under 8. So the reason why, even if it's not DeGrom, I don't trust Texas' offense. Cameron's been really good. Talked about his numbers earlier. They've been an under team for me as of lately. Don't really trust Texas offense again. So that's the under 8 is what I'm going. Minus 112, I think you can find. Probably can find better if you might lay a little bit of juice with the 8.5. But that's what I'm going to do for the lock. For dog, let's go with a good spot they both like. I'm going to go Philly, minus 1.5, plus 155. All
right. So for my lock on the show, what did I want to go with here? I thought about a couple of different things here. You know what? I think I am going to lock it up, actually, even though they are getting a dog price. I think I'm going to go with the Reds as my lock at plus 110. Martinez had one bad start. I can live with it. It was against the best team in the league. Kikuchi has not been good. The Angels are 5 games under. They have lost 3 of their last 4, all by 3+ runs. And the Reds, as I mentioned before, are a playoff team right now. So I question why they're actually dogs in this game. You could argue that both pitchers aren't exactly trustworthy. The Reds, though, have been quite good lately. They've won 4 out of their last 6, and the 2 losses were against Milwaukee. So there you go. Point is, though, I'll go with the Reds at plus money. I think that this price is pretty generous, and I do think you're looking at a spot where the wrong team's favored. So give me the Reds at plus money as my lock. For the dog, what did I want to go with here? Thought about going with the Tigers, actually. But the question is, I want to trust Morton in this outing, which could be dicey. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll do it. I'll go with the, I'm trying to think if I actually want to do it. I could go with the Guardians instead, but I'll go with Detroit at plus 118. I said before, the Astros have gotten embarrassed and shut out in 3 of their last 4 games. They've not been playing good ball. They've had some injuries dealing with, and you're looking at Detroit, who this past stretch has been, I'll use the word solid. They have won 5 of the last 6 after slumping for what felt like a month. They're finally back on track, but they won 5 of 6. They were at home in this game, 40-24 at home. You're looking at the Astros once again, who have lost 3 of their last 4 games by 7+ runs. They've been outscored 22-0 in their last 2 games. Good enough for me. Give me the Tigers money line at around plus 118 as my dog for the show. Now it's time for the home run plays. Lonte, what do you like as your home run pick for the Wednesday games?
Brent Rooker. Love Brent Rooker in this spot. We talked about this game being erratic pitching. I think Ober is going to allow a lot of contact. He's been obviously not as good. So I think Brent Rooker, I think there's a lot of opportunity at the top of the lineup. I was thinking about maybe Shea or it's a lot of opportunity for the A's. I think this will be one of the higher scoring games. I think we both like the over. So let's go with Brent Rooker tomorrow. He'll get a ton of at bats. I think he's had 5 hits in his last 3 games. So he's been hitting the ball pretty well.
Yeah, the problem is I wanted to make a case for a Dodger, but I don't even want to know how expensive that's going to be because I'm looking at Gordon, who has not been good at all. Yeah. But I think that's going to be too expensive, so I can't take that. There's not going to be any value. Thought about Rooker as well. I could go with the same game if I wanted to. I just want to quickly see what Ginn's home run numbers are, just so I can look at them. I mean, he does give up some contact. Do I want to go for... I could do Buxton if I want to.
Yeah, Buxton was one that I thought about.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Buxton. He did homer on Sunday. I don't mind that. So same game, different team though. Give me Byron Buxton as my home run pick for the Wednesday game. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the show. Lonte, anything else you want to add?
Nah, man, best of luck tonight. Hopefully we got some winners tonight, Scott.
Yep, hopefully. Anyway, looking quickly at the upcoming schedule for the remainder of the week, I'll be on tomorrow with Dylan, and of course I'll do the morning prop show with Adam, so keep an eye out for that. Till next time, I'm on Twitter, Rich Radio. Find him on Twitter at XSLonteXX. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.